Hello friends, how are you all? And welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I want to discuss about the Russia war on Ukraine. This is the most happening thing in the world right now. Everyone in this world was shocked to know when Russia started war against the Ukraine, even though it was speculated from a long time that it will happen. First, I want to tell you all that I am not in favor of the war and will pray to end this war at the earliest. Now, the main important question here is why Mr. Putin started the war against the Ukraine. He knows that all the people of the world will hate him for this action. Even his own countrymen will hate him for this action. But sorry to say, he was left out with no choice other than this. I'm not saying that war is only the solution, but when dialogue fails, definitely the war will start. The majority of the world's people believe that the Russia wants to include all the countries again in the USSR map, which they left in 1991. So this war is the main reason for that. This thought makes themselves image Mr. Putin as comparable to Mr. Hitler or the new era dictator who want to increase the border by attacking the small nations. This is the misinterpretation of the Western media and the propaganda used as to gain the sympathy and the major tool to divide the rest of the world with Mr. Putin. After the war is over, the whole world and historians will present Mr. Putin as the villain and enemy of the mankind and peace. He will be always criticized for this act, but nobody will show why the war had started and the major reason of the war. The truth will be hidden in the box and kept in some dark warehouse, and nothing will come out ever. If Mr. Putin wants to include all the countries, those were separated from 1991, then why he didn't start with other countries and why with Ukraine only? And why not before and now? There were 14 countries who were separated from the Russia, and why Mr. Putin wants to start with the Ukraine in the first hand. He could have started from other 30 countries. If he wants to be a dictator, then he can have a full-fledged war against the other small nations surrounding his countries, where he can move ahead with other European countries with the help of his allies. The most important thing is you must understand by yourselves the truth. You all are educated and have the sense and brain to think and feel why this war is happening. Please don't hesitate to use your brain and thinking power and stop believing on what you were shown and presented. Now the world had already divided into the two groups. One is the US allies and the other one is non-US allies. The US wants each country of the world to be its allies so that they can dominate the whole world and can be ruled with their monopoly. The US is the modern day dictator and is the world's major problem nowadays. Its ideological differences with other countries is the major trouble in today's world. The USA and the UK, their most trustable allies, want to make the world dominated by themselves. They want to be the ruler of the world, not only for their country and region. The new colonialism had already been started by them, and they are currently showing their interest in every small and big countries in the name of friendship, democracy, and development. They want their presence in each country neighborhood who are against their will and ideology. The US Army is present everywhere with their air and sea forces where they have major enemy. The major strong enemy of the US allies are North Korea, Russia, Iran, and China. Nobody knows why they are considered as the enemy of the US allies, but these were presented as the enemy to humanity, mankind, peace, and running as the dictator. They are already present in the South Korea and Japan to keep an eye on the North Korea, whereas they are present in Iraq and Afghanistan to keep an eye on the Iran. And their major allies, Israel, is also keeping an eye for them. But the Iran is not so much greater threat for them, so they decided to pull out from the Iraq and Afghanistan. They want to be present near to Russia and China so that the Chinese and Russians will be threatened by the USA. Out of the four countries, the major strong enemies of the USA are Russia and China. They are economically strong and as well as in terms of the weapons too. The USA wants to change the regime of all these countries with the people who are in favor of the USA or who can be puppet for them. So the US and its allies are using the neighboring countries of these four nations to start the war with each other. So nowadays they want the neighboring countries of Russia and China to have a problem and there will be war. The conflicts between Taiwan and China, Ukraine and Russia are also the major reason for this. Then USA will enter the war in the name of humanity, democracy, peace lover and destroy its enemies forever and ever. The enemy will never rise again and no threats to the US and its allies in its mission. The war of Russia with Ukraine is the security threat to the Russia from the USA and NATO. The USA and NATO had used the Ukraine to show their dominance against Russia. No doubt Ukraine was just a patsy, and the major war is between the US and NATO allies versus Russia. The US and NATO wants to threat the Russia and subsequently China to make the world power under one umbrella, and there is no opposition of whatever they want to do. Russia and China are only the major big stone on their way to make the whole world dominated by themselves. Ukraine is a perfect choice for US and NATO to use against Russia and threat them by adding Ukraine to NATO. Once the Ukraine joins the NATO, then the US and NATO missiles military presence will be just next to Russia and they can give immediate threat to Russia for war and other secret agencies to spy over Russia. Then definitely US and NATO will be more strong and powerful than Russia. The major reason for this war is the security threat for Russia and not other things. So being a good citizen and the great leader, Mr. Putin had to start the war even though he doesn't want to. He will pay the price for being a great leader to his country and countrymen and the rest of the world. The guy like Mr. Putin and Mr. Xi Jinping needs to be honored as the hero to the mankind and each country's sovereignty and dignity. If they are not so strong, the whole world will be living under the umbrella of the USA dictatorship. Lastly, Ukraine and Ukraine people should know that they are suffering now because of the US and NATO ego to hurt Russia. They had paid the price for being poor leader and leadership quality who cannot judge the foreign affairs. So I also request each country citizen to judge their leaders nicely and to choose wisely. Please like and share this video if you like this content and have a great day. Thank you.